This time the image showed a woman pregnant among the group of people from before. The images later went to show the woman in labor giving birth. The man appeared to have delivered the baby. However, it looked like no ordinary child. It was depicted to have large black eyes with long teeth, horns poking out in many directions. The child with its legs and arms disproportionate to each other. The man was holding the child in the air, almost like he was glorifying it. At that moment, I couldn't take anymore, and I slammed the book shut, tossed it to the other side of the room. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, my arms and face sweaty. I shook my head in disbelief. There was no way, I thought. What the hell was all of that even about? After seeing those images, I couldn't sleep for most of the night. All I could see was that horrid, inked image of those creatures. When I thought of the woman being depicted as pregnant, I couldn't help but think of Victoria. There was no way that it could have been her. Could it? A lot of women can be pregnant. It's just a coincidence that it had to be. The next day, I worked sluggishly from lack of sleep. At breakfast, I made no eye contact with Victoria, nor did I talk to anyone else. If they asked, I simply blamed it on the headache or tiredness. While working, I pleaded to myself, hoping Victoria would not come by as she usually did. Yet, despite my internal pleads, she came. "Marcus, are you feeling any better?" she asked, entering the room. I didn't respond. I didn't even look up. "Marcus, are you all right?" My silence caused her to press on. "What's wrong? Why are you ignoring me?" she asked. I could hear a hint of annoyance in her voice. Still, I gave her no answer. What could I say? All I could think was, "Fine," she yelled, and proceeded to leave the room. "That child?" I asked her without looking up. I could hear her footsteps come to a halt. "What?" "Who's the father of your child?" "Is that what this is about?" she asked. I stood up, finally facing her. He was direct, but I had to know. My face, along with my silence, must have said it all for her. I could see the look of confusion in her eyes. "Why does it matter?" she asked harshly. "I need to know," I stated firmly. I wanted it to be from her boyfriend, or even a deadbeat husband. Any of these were better than what I was thinking. Yet the entire time I had been there, I had not seen him, nor had there been any mention of him. She just stared at me with her mouth open, as if trying to find the words to speak. Tears formed in her eyes. They were gazing at me angrily with sadness simultaneously. She shook her head softly, never taking her eyes from mine. Finally, she spoke. "Stay away from me, Marcus. Never come near me or speak to me again, or I'll have you sent home." She stormed out, leaving me dumbfounded. My plan had backfired. I wanted to call out to her, stop her, and apologize, but again, I was at a loss for words. Like an idiot, I just stood there, let my head fall down in grief. As the day continued on, Victoria never returned to see me while I worked. At mealtime, she never made eye contact with me either, keeping her eyes focused on her plate. I felt horrible for what I did. I had no right to put her on the spot like that. I cursed at myself. After dinner, I attempted to talk to her as she was leaving for her room. She ignored me. I don't know why I thought knocking on her door would be any better. All I received upon an opening was having it immediately slammed in my face. I sighed, truly feeling utter regret, and I made my way back to my room. When I did, I sat on my bed, staring off into space. I wish I had never found that damn book, that everything between her and I would have been normal. I missed seeing her already, her smile, hearing her laugh, just being around her. I let my hand slide to my pillow to check for the book, only to find it missing. Stunned, I poured out the pillow's contents to find only feathers and cotton. I was sure I had put it back after I left each time. Was somebody messing with me? I angrily began searching for the book. I checked my suitcase, tossed clothes around as I did, checked the dresser, under the bed, and even behind the desk. Where was it? My eyes met the window when I came from under the desk. When I looked down, I saw the same figure from all those days before standing next to my car, and this time it appeared to be looking up at me. Anger filled me. I assumed it was Terrence again. This was a bad time for him to be messing with me. I raced out of my room and down the stairs. I ran around the side of the building to where my car was. The moonlight was stronger than ever, illuminating my way as I did, and when I reached my car, no one was in sight. I had finally reached a boiling point. You picked the wrong day to fuck with me, I yelled. Come on out, now! If not, leave me the hell alone. My voice echoed into the air before dying on the wind. The building gave off its unsettling moans. The leaves from the trees in the distance shook, rattling against their branches in the wind. There was no one out here. Feeling my mind grow at ease and realizing how much of a fool I looked, I started to make my way back. However, my nerves froze when I heard the snapping of twigs behind me. My heart began beating fast. I slowly turned around to see a figure gradually rising from behind my car. The figure was wearing a cloak with a hood over its head. In the light, I could see pieces of twigs and leaves sticking out of the cloak. I opened my mouth to scream, but the figure quickly darted over to me, covering my mouth with its hand. It hushed me softly. The voice was clearly a woman's. She slowly removed her hand from my mouth and made her way to the back of the building before disappearing behind it. She gestured for me to follow. I didn't want to, but my legs began to move on their own in her direction. When I reached the other side, I saw her remove the hood from her head. The moonlight lit her face. She was an elderly-looking woman, possibly in her early 50s. She had ragged black hair mixed with gray strands that ran untamed. Her face was pressed with wrinkles, with dry patches of dirt. The scent from her was rank but familiar. It smelled like wet leaves and old tree bark. "Did you see it?" she whispered. Her voice was crackly and rasped. "You saw it in the book, right? You have to help me. You have to help me save my daughter." "Who the hell are you?" I asked, backing up from the woman. "Please," she begged, grabbing my arm. The smell from her was more unbearable up close. "Get off me, you old hag!" I yelled, pulling myself free. She shushed me loudly. Her eyes appeared wide, scanning the area with paranoia. "You want them to hear." "Who will hear? What are you talking about?" I asked. I'd only been a few minutes with her, and I already began to become irritated. "Them!" she hissed. I could see the whites of her eyes gleam in the moonlight at her weak attempt to scare me. I shook my head, unmoved. "I don't have time for this. I'm really tired, and I've got to get up early. Honestly, I don't care what you do out here, but just stay away from my car. I don't want to catch you near it again, or else I'll report you." "Oh, please don't," she begged, ready to grab at me again. However, I was unable to avoid her clawing hands this time. "Fine," I shot back. "Just don't touch me again. I'm leaving now." As I turned to leave, I could see the woman's head soaked to the ground. Normally, this would have been the part where I would have felt sorry. But right now, I didn't care. I was too tired with my mind overwhelmed with the events that had transpired throughout the day. Besides, she was clearly deranged in the head, possibly homeless, or maybe one of those people who lived off the land. I started to walk away when it hit me. I thought about what else she had said earlier. I looked back to still see her eyeing the ground, almost appearing in a trance. I was reluctant to go back, but I had to know. "What did you mean, your daughter? How did you know about the book?" I asked, approaching her. Without looking up, she answered, "My daughter. I need your help to save her." "Your daughter? Who's your daughter?" "You already know of her. Why do you ask me?" she replied, looking up at me. Her eyes relayed a look of solemn. "I need to hear it from you," I said. I was sure I knew the answers that she mentioned, but something inside me wanted to hear those words come from her. I wanted to be absolutely sure. "Say her name." "It's Victoria, of course," she said softly. I shook my head in disbelief. "But how? You're her mother, but you're supposed to be..." "She said you died when she was a child." "Is that what she told you?" She scoffed. "It would be like Gary to tell her such a lie." "What?" "Yes," she said stiffly. "He took her from me, but I didn't want to submit to his religion. He banished me." Well, this couldn't be possible. Victoria's mother was dead, right? But how would I know otherwise? I did notice when I listened closely, I could hear her accent hidden behind her raspy voice. Wait, this man you're talking about, I started. It couldn't have been the same person. Do you mean the Reverend? She didn't answer me immediately. Instead, her eyes wandered off into the trees beyond, but eventually, her head gave a soft nod. I sighed. Look, you said to help your daughter and that the Reverend took her. Why didn't you just go to the police or something? She chuckled to herself lightly, returning her eyes to mine. You don't know these people. I don't know anything because you're not telling me everything, I replied harshly. My impatience had elevated to annoyance. All you need to know is that the people you think you know are liars. The Reverend is the worst of them all. They need my daughter. They made her a part of their revolting ritual. I should have never brought her here. I was so weak-minded back then. Damn them, she spat bitterly. I didn't know what to do, but then I saw you arrive. At first, I was unsure what to think of you, yet while watching you with Victoria, I knew it would be you who would help me to do what I couldn't. Take her away from all of this. It all started to come together. All those times it felt like something or someone was watching me had been her. Yet, still confused. She hadn't really answered my question and only contributed to the pile of others. That's a lot to believe, especially about the others. They don't act the way you make them out to be. Besides, what ritual are you talking about? I asked. You're very fond of her, aren't you? She asked, ignoring my question. Of Victoria? What? I blurted out. I could feel my cheeks reddening. I'm glad that you are, she said, smiling. It does my heart good to see another care for Victoria as I do. This is the reason why I knew you'd help me. But I had to show you first of what they plan to do. What they've already done. I left that book in your room as proof you saw it. So you now know too. I was thrown off again. I couldn't believe that she was behind the placement of the book as well. But wait a second. I don't even know what I saw in that book. I couldn't even read the words. You don't need the words. You saw the pictures, didn't you? She shot back. You saw what's been done. I didn't know what to think.